Disclaimer: I'm going to be talking about Dispatch, the new game that just came out. Uh, it's a story-driven game. I just want to talk a bit about the game, and I'm just going to basically do a review on it, talking about some of the things I like, some of the things I didn't like, and just kind of going over in a whole of what I thought about it. So yeah. All right. So first things first, I want to talk about just the characters in general with the voice acting. I thought it was very strong. I thought it was amazing. For the most part, I thought everyone performed really well. Every single character that they casted or played as was interesting, intriguing, and just overall they each had their own part to play, if that makes sense. Like you had the funny guys, you had the uptight, kind of angry all the time, and then you had those people that were just serious all the time, and everyone had really good chemistry. Like obviously, some of the funny people like Sonar. Sonar was hilarious throughout the whole thing. Then you had Punch Up, hilarious as well, with the punching of the balls constantly on everyone because he's too short. It was hilarious. And then you had the more serious comedic people like Mecha Man. Then you had Invisigal, and then you kind of had Blonde Blazer, who is more just the uptight, kind of just always serious and very kind person. So yeah, you had a lot of good mixtures of personalities with performance, and it was just really cool. And yeah, so some of the relationships in it was really nice too. Like I love the dynamic of just a disclaimer, I'm going to be talking not detail in the game, but talking about stuff in the game. So if you haven't played it yet, I'm pretty sure I've already said it, but make sure to watch that for this. So yeah, the whole dynamic of the game being okay, you can either end up with Blonde Blazer or you can end up with Invisigal, and kind of the choices implementing for each one. And I like the sense that if you doubt and if you distrust and just don't do the right choices for Invisigal, she ends up evil. If you don't, you actually end up together. She actually ends up saving her life in the end. It's just a great storytelling of the game, and it's just a great ending overall. Like I was thinking about the game, and I was thinking about what they could do, and I thought, obviously they showed very early on that Blonde Blazer had the amulet. They kind of set it up as Blonde Blazer's too good to be true, so they thought a lot of people thought she was a bad guy or she was working for Shroud. Doesn't end up like that at all. But honestly, I thought Blonde Blazer was gonna die in this game. I just had a feeling, but she doesn't end up dying, obviously. Which really sets up the season two if they do, which I would be very into. Um, but yeah, just the whole relationship dynamic in this series was really good, and having all these decisions affect your relationship with other people, like whether or not trusting Invisigal kind of affects your performances with other people if you do trust her. And this game does a really good job of trying to switch your thinking pattern and put you against people because they try really hard to make you not trust and not side with Invisigal the whole game, because obviously they have the first few scenes where you're starting to get love interest into her and all this other stuff. They really push them together, and I think they do that kind of just to show you okay, if you don't do this, this is actually you're actually gonna fuck up your whole game almost in a way. So it's just really cool how they did that, and I love how the game really twists with your emotions and the lead up to the final episode with it, because throughout the whole episodes it just twists Invisigal as a person, and it shows everything to counter out as actually a villain and the whole game, who's really just a sleeper agent throughout the game. People were saying that she ended up being a good person at the end, which is kind of true but kind of not. But she did do a lot of stuff that was misunderstood. She was more of a neutral, if that makes sense, or she was a not a lawful evil or anything, but she just kind of she just kind of was lost and didn't know what to do for a lot of things, and kind of just did what she wanted to do in that scenario and what she thought she could had to do and stuff. Because the whole dynamic with her is that she thinks that she's a villain because the get powers she's been given are so-called villain powers, and she can't become a hero because of that. And the whole like relationship and just the build up with her and Robert because of that, and like finding out that she actually did a lot of heinous shit to Robert without him knowing, and then like constantly being reminded or just told out by other people not to trust her, and like it's just really crazy like build up in this game. And it's just crazy how like how much this game just tried to put you against her the whole time, which almost had me the whole game. Like she was doing some really dumb stuff, but you find out towards the end that it really wasn't what it seemed like, if that makes sense. And then the final scenes, obviously, when Shroud reveals that she was actually asleep the whole time, and then Vizgal takes the bullet from Shroud, which that's a big spoiler, but when she takes the bullet for Shroud, if you know treat her right and if you trust her the whole game, it really just like paints the way as like she was just really trying to protect Robert the whole time, protect everyone. Because it did make sense when a lot of the stuff she said, but the way she did it was wrong. Or anyway, it's just overall a really great way of telling the story of her and Robert and stuff. So, which is different when if you go with Blonde Blazer, obviously, because if you go Blonde Blazer, it's kind of an easy path in my opinion. Because obviously she was like just the goody tissue the whole game, and there's no real danger into siding with her the whole game, which is kind of crazy. Which made me kind of angry a bit because I feel like if they would have made it so Blonde Blazer was like actually like the evil one or something, that could have been a cool like segue, I should say, or maybe Blonde Blazer actually like killed his father or something, like some kind of weird, you know what I mean, or something, or worked to Shadow the Path. That could have been like a cool little thing because I thought Blonde Blazer was a bit like too good in this game, if that makes sense. Like the worst thing she did in the game was lie to Robert about like why she was like taking him in kind of thing, but like why she asked him to be why she asked him to be a dispatcher, but like it's nothing to the amount that everyone else did. So like it's just weird, right? You know? But I thought it was still a very unique perspective, and I liked how everyone thought Blonde Blazer was gonna be evil, and then that Invisigal was actually the one that was, on side with Robert the whole time, and they were just leading that. But yeah, anyway, they did well, and the game ended really well and ended good. So I'm not too mad about that. I thought that she could have had a little bit more mystery to her, but no, they did a good job though. Yeah, just like the voice actors in this game, like I thought obviously with Robert being voiced by Aaron Paul, from Breaking Bad, fucking amazing. Like the way he delivered his lines in this throughout this whole series was just so good. Like I'm so happy that they chose him as like the main character almost and everything. Like he just really played everything well, and he was just really entertaining the whole game. He had a perfect balance of serious and like funniness too. So crazy, like the Z team as like a whole of like the game is just like it's so entertaining and like cool as a concept, and I just really enjoyed watching it unfold slowly throughout the episodes about like this Z team becoming a family, uh, things going up and south, like things falling apart, of them having to all fight against potentially Sonar or Coupe because obviously you have to cut one of them in the game, and whoever you cut ends up being a villain. And you end up having to fight her and Shroud or them and Shroud. For me, it was Coupe because I cut Coupe. So you know what I mean. It's just like a really cool. It's just a really cool way of like telling the story and everything. And I thought it did a really good job of that. And I thought Shroud was a great villain as well. I love the dynamic of Shroud being like kind of like a mystery, or not really mystery, but kind of just being in the background the whole time of this game until like the very fast last few episodes. Because obviously you start out with Shroud and then Mecha Man, and him losing the suit, and yeah, and then losing his power to the suit, and yeah, it's just really cool as a concept, and I love that Shroud wasn't overused in this game because he was just kind of like a silent villain in the background until the last few episodes. He wasn't really like shown at all, until yeah, like he wasn't really shown at all. He was just kind of known as the villain, and it was really cool because I loved the voice acting by Shroud as well. Whoever played Shroud, because he did a really great job. His the way he delivered his lines sounded so menacing and evil, and yeah, it was just really cool. Yeah, and then some of the Z Team characters were really like cool, like to just like like witness and like hear them voice act. Like I don't like, there's something about Sonar's performance that really got me hooked in this game. Same with Punch Up. Not just because they're YouTubers, I thought their characters were some of the most interesting to like listen to and like talk about. I thought Sonar was like very comedic the whole time, and it was like very cool how he reacted to things and scenarios. Same with Punch Up. Like I loved it. Like it was so cool to see. They were such a sleeper character, I feel, because they were played by YouTubers, but I thought they did a really good job. Like Melavela was really cool as well. Uh, yeah, she was honestly like she was honestly like one of the like third like party like relationship ties almost, it seemed like, for a while. At one point I thought Mavella was maybe going to be like one of the secret options to get a relationship with, but didn't end up going that way. Sorry, I was just looking up because I forget some characters and I forget some things. Yeah, okay. So like yeah, it's just like, and I thought Royd was a great character as well. I love the brother relationship between him and Chase and then Robert. I thought Chase was like one of the best characters in the game because of the emotional depth behind him and almost losing him and stuff, and really great to see like everything like fall away to that. Uh I thought the whole thing with Flambe, like no Flambe realizing that Robert was actually, well, obviously Robert tells him, but tells the whole team that he was Mecha Man. But the whole thing of Flambe being angry at Robert because he actually took him, or took him to jail and all this other stuff, and like fought him when he was a hero and all this sort of stuff, and then him coming around was really cool. And the whole like people forgiving him, which made sense because it was like he's just a hothead, so he was just butthurt, but he came around. It was really cool to get that kind of side as well. Yeah, it's just such great character development, and the action in this was as well. Like I love how they tell the story with like the cutscenes and like the action, because every single cutscene with action stuff was so good. The art style alone was really cool to see as well, especially in the final few episodes where like you really started to get the action. I thought the last episode with the action was what quite best, quite quite frankly the best we've seen in the game. There wasn't a lot of like Z team like cutscene action of like fighting as much. A lot of Invisigal, but pretty much just her the whole time. So it was really cool to have them like all face against Shroud at the end. And yeah, such cliffhangers and like so many things that were happening at once to tell a story. It was just really nice. I thought Invisigal was like one of the better vocal performances too. Like she had such emotion in her voice throughout the whole thing, and yeah, it's just crazy how they were like explaining or like selling the episodes in a way with her, because she really like had everyone fooled the whole time that she was pretty much not a villain, but she was like an outcast, and then towards the end it turns out that she was exactly what she was like portraying herself as almost, which is crazy because she kind of said it throughout the whole thing that she was doing everything as like trying to get forgiveness kind of thing, and then when she got it, she kind of just like ran with it and got better. So it was quite cool. Yeah, I really hope they make a season two. I thought everything was executed very well in this game. Yeah, and it was such a shock for like a lot of these characters as well. Like Waterboy being played into it as well, which was really cool. Having that like kind of nerdy outcast, like always messing up kind of character, doesn't know what he's doing kind of, and that was a really cool like idea as a premise too. It was just really cool. Yeah, great game. You should, if you guys haven't played or seen it. I mean, I don't know why you're watching this into this point if you haven't, but really cool game. Highly recommend. Yeah, I'm so happy with this game and how it turned out. I thought every character had a strong performance. I thought, yeah, I just thought they really chose well for like everything, and I kind of, it was kind of one thing I didn't particularly like is when in the beginning they show all these like super like top tier heroes like with like Phenomenal Man, who's actually used quite a lot later, but only him out of like these all these other ones that showed up in the beginning. You just never see them again towards the end, which is kind of sucky. Like Brain Book, I forgot some of the other ones, but yeah, I thought that was kind of like dull and kind of like useless. But yeah, it is what it is. I thought maybe we could see them more, but it is what it is. They did so many other things well. Like you can't have everything in one game, and I think that's essentially what it was. And they really were nothing to the storyline anyway. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to see him in the towards the later of the game or whatnot, like kind of like Phenomenal Man. The only reason why they had Phenomenal Man though is because obviously he was a love interest of Blonde Blazer, and she was a vital part of this game, so they kind of had to do that. But yeah. Anyway, I feel like I'm talking too much about it, but this is just a great game. Highly recommend. And yeah.